Let's go into EMS operations dispatch. We talked about dispatch prior, but we're going to dig in a little bit more about our dispatch centers. Your dispatch center, these guys are usually an area where all calls come and funnel in through the 911 resource and is sent to a PSAP, this public server answering point. It then is generated a type of emergency for either police or law enforcement, fire, or EMS. And it's then funneled out to those particular agencies then to provide information. What we're talking about right now is our EMS dispatchers that take a lot of this EMS call volumes and the GPS data, which allows us then to link the number in of a reporting party as well as the identification for that geographic location. So we have a lot of information that comes in through the dispatch. It then propagates our CAD system, which allows us then to deploy and to dispatch responding elements and our EMS units. Our EMDs, or emergency medical dispatchers, are trained to provide high volume medical prioritized dispatching for all these EMS calls. And these systems use a type of answer and question there that generates and then will propagate what type of response is needed. This is all based on the information that is given from the reporting party. And so a lot of times, if the reporting party is fueled and excited and is rushed with adrenaline, sometimes these questions that are being generated from our CAD system and being answered over through our emergency medical dispatcher, it may generate an ALS type response immediately, and then the corresponding units are dispatched out. Now, usually in your call center, you'll have an EMD that takes the reporting party information. That information is then shifted up into the CAD system and then displayed in front of another EMD or a medical dispatcher, and that medical dispatcher then now starts to send out responding elements to respond to the situation, which the first EMD is now still taking information from the reporting party. During that time, that initial dispatcher will continue to stay on the line with the reporting party and may even start to give pre-arrival instructions. These pre-arrival instructions may be to start CPR, to go ahead and ask patients certain questions and to find out more information so that this type of response and the responding units are utilized in a fashion that is very strict, that we're sending a BLS unit or an ALS unit to an ALS case and so forth, that we're not misappropriating and sending a lot of vehicles, emergency vehicles and resources to a call that doesn't necessarily warrant these. So again, we're dispatching based on the reporting party. This information is generated from our reporting party, identifying numbers from their GPS location as well as the phone number. This data then is uploaded. It goes to an EMD dispatcher to then dispatch EMS units as well as corresponding elements. Then pre-arrivals are being given to the reporting party, and our units are dispatched in a unified and more appropriate utilization. EMDs go through, it's usually a 3 to a week long of training. They then end up learning how to use the CAD system and generating these questions through the CAD system and then entering information on the screen from the reporting party. This is a type of overall call management so that we are dispatching units in a appropriate fashion to maximize our response to the community and geographic locations, minimizing our response time, minimizing utilization of resources that we don't need to deploy immediately. Reporting party information. You know, dispatchers are taking information from the reporting party. These people that report these incidences are charged with a lot of adrenaline. This is an extreme emergency for them. This is a high stress area, they are taking that information from the reporting party and then deciding through the CAD system and EMD protocols, agencies or units to then be deployed to the incident. And they're sitting in their office and their dispatch area with very little eyes on the incident itself. It's all the information that they're getting is through communications from the reporting party and response elements. So you guys need to make sure that when you're communicating to our dispatch that they are already in a stressful environment, they have a high volume of calls that they're responding and managing. They are also trying to manage the EMS units and other responding elements to those incidences, and they're trying to keep track of hospitals. So just keep in mind that they are working in a high stress environment. During our EMD and dispatch protocols are also medically driven, so we have some medical direction to oversee our type of care and our pre-arrival instructions that we're giving. A lot of this information is also then linked up to our live stream data systems, and this can tell us if there are incidences in the area, like a lifetime surveillance, sort of say. So if we have a lot of people calling in for flu type symptoms, we can adjust our response based on the lifetime surveillance data that we're getting to better equip and notify our EMS units and corresponding elements. We also look back at all of this and we try to make sure that the quality of our dispatches, the responding and resource utilization is appropriate and adequate for our response and our geographic location. Technology has increased our dispatch capabilities, but does not mean that it's made it any simpler. It has increased our ability to understand through E911, our enhanced 911 system, and GPS systems now. We're able to get a lot of data that feeds and streams up into our CAD system. Still, something has to be inputted into these CAD systems, and we still need to take that information and send that out to a data display or mobile unit that is either in an EMS unit or a corresponding elements data terminal in order for them to see that information. And the information is only as good as what we can put in or what we receive from the reporting party. Again, some of that information is that numerical identifier and a type of logistical identifier that's given to us. We now also have changed from an analog system to a digital system, so we have quicker information, much more information being sent in smaller packages quicker to our locations. They can follow our units based on whether or not we have GPS locators, and that can be seen over a geographic mapping, so we can tell what units are closer, what units are at the hospital, what units are in turnaround, where our units are, so that we can then generate a more timely and more appropriate resource management when we dispatch elements to an incident. And a lot of times this data is real time again. So active real-time surveillance so that we know what's going on, and it sort of breeds a digital footprint of what's happening in the field. Again, our dispatchers aren't able to see what's really happening at that incident, and so it is a high stress environment, high stress job.